Yeah. Come on, y'all. Hump Day, Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. What? Yeah. The sick, the elderly, the young, and the language barrier. Y'all ready? I am. Let's take it to another place. Hold on. Let's do it like this. We ain't got to do it like that. We can do it like this. Yeah. All right, let me tell y'all something, man. Hump Day Wednesday. Hump Day, yeah, baby. Hump Day Wednesday, all up in your area. It's the Daily Go Getimism Show. Y'all know when y'all see me doing the beats manually, when you don't hear no music in the background, that means that we don't have any lines open tonight. We won't be able to take callers tonight. And watch what happens. This will be the night when everybody wish they could have called in, would have called in, had prepared themselves to call in, because we're going to have a hell of a show tonight. We're going to talk about something important tonight. We're going to talk about something that we can all get into tonight. Tonight, we are talking about the sick, the elderly, the young, and the foreign language. And the reason that we're talking about those things is because those are people who get taken advantage of. Not necessarily in a violent way, not necessarily in a sexual way or whatever. We're not talking about abuse tonight, but we're talking about how people will get away with taking advantage of people who are dealing with people in these situations, and how it'll get excused, it'll get overlooked, it'll sometimes even get praised because it looks like they're doing good. It looks like they're doing good. I'm gonna tell y'all something that I've learned a long time ago. Especially when you're talking about dealing with the elderly. You know what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the elderly? You're dealing with fixed incomes. Sometimes you're dealing with inheritances, and sometimes you're dealing with assets and generational wealth. That's what you're dealing with when you're talking about the elderly. But you may also be dealing with a myriad of health problems and mortality. So you're also talking about legal processes like wills, standing wills, living wills, power of attorney and things like that. And people who are looking like they are doing something good for somebody because they are looking out. They're looking out for your auntie that nobody else wanted to take in. They're looking out for your mom who nobody wanted to deal with. They're looking out for your grandmother, your uncle who everybody was trying to put in a nursing home, and just like nobody wanted to take responsibility or wanted to take care of the elderly. So guess what? Somebody stepped up to the plate and took care of the elderly. It might have been a family member. It may have just been a family friend, but it's definitely going to be somebody who seems like they are ready and willing to go ahead and take care of that person, be their caretaker. And a lot of times what they are doing They're taking care of the person, but they're also draining their bank accounts. Do you know how much good that you can do when you are using somebody else's money? Other people's money really, really spins. It spins well, baby. It spins well. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. I'm just trying to warm y'all up, get y'all in the mood and make sure that we get the understanding about what we're going to be talking about tonight. This is the Daily Go-Getimism Show. Matter of fact, let's do it like this. I haven't done this intro like this in a minute. This is the daily. This is the it's the daily. It's the Daily Go-Getimism Show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is going to be all right. We talk about the sick, the elderly, the young, and the language tonight. People who get taken advantage of, even by good people. Sometimes good people do bad things. When they are around a negative situation for too long and they realize that it might be a little bit profitable. This is one of the reasons why you can't leave somebody in charge of your money for too long. You just can't do it. Ain't nobody going to watch over your money in a safe, secure way for too long. Eventually, they're going to start picking off because they got bills to pay. They got things that come up. They have emergencies and things like that. And your money is right there at their disposal. So while you in jail, while you away, handling business, while you were sick in a coma, something like that, somebody was taking care of your money. And guess what? You can best believe whatever you started out with when you left them with the money is going to probably be either half, 1/4, or you might come back with a goose egg, baby. You might come back with a goose egg. That's what we getting into tonight. What up, my peoples? My number one fan, Jad Man, is in the house. What's up, Jad Man? My number one fan. He's here every night. He's such a fan. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it, man. Do you have a poster of me up in your wall? Do you have a poster of me up on your wall? That's all I want to know. T. Carey, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. What's going on? Yo, it's good to see y'all and we coming through. Yeah, we going to stand tall. And Albert Grossman, what's up, man? Thanks for coming back through. He says, can you... Oh, God. Damn, Albert Grossman. I thought we was good. I thought we was all right. Hey, would you blow me? I ain't seen you here in a minute. Blow me is all up in the house. Any advice you get for a young up-and-coming alcoholic? Yes, I do. It's funny you asked me about that. I would say for a young up-and-coming alcoholic, I would say go for yours. You know what I mean? Get the alcohol poisoning out of the way early. So, you know what I mean? You can have fun with your liver damage, your cirrhosis and hepatitis A, B, and C later on. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't worry about it though. Aiden, or is it Aiden Klein? Yo, son, my man. What we talking about tonight? Tonight we talking about the sick, the elderly, the young, and the language, the foreign language. So you know how people. If you're in an English speaking country and you don't know how to speak English, even people who speak your language will take advantage of you in an English speaking country or another language speaking country because they know that you don't know the language, you don't know the rules, you can't ask you don't know the language well enough to ask what's right, what's wrong, what the rules are, what you can do, what you can't do. And it can be a very compromising position. And I've seen people so-called helping other people. I talked a little bit about it last night. Or was it the night before? These days just be running into each other as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, yeah, so let's say you're from, I don't know, a Spanish-speaking country or a French-speaking country. Let's say you hate. I've seen Haitians get taken advantage of. I've seen Caribbean Hispanics getting taken advantage of and whatnot. Because if you come over here and you don't speak English, and maybe you have some challenges that may prevent you from even being able to learn how to speak English, and you have to depend on one person that's doing the translating for you. I got stories for y'all tonight. Oh yeah. Oh, those translator stories. Oh man, my man Troy McNeil, what's going on, my peoples? My peoples. And Clutch's guy in Michigan. Clutch's guy in Michigan says, Cap. Well, you know what? Hold that, Cap. Aiden Klein says, dude, that bar was clean. Was it? Aiden Klein says, got it on the second. Ha ha. That's what's up. Clutch says, you sound like one of those people who get out and say they've been reading. Let me tell you a little something. First of all, Mr. Clutches, you can eat a dick until you really throw up and get sick, because I don't really give a shit. Yo, when you came here, there were people here, and when you leave, they're gonna still be here, and nobody's gonna care. So I do this every night, and I don't have to fight because I'm coming through and trying to do right. I try to do the right thing because I'm a real king, not because I got a crown, because I'm always down by law, down by anybody who ever saw me do my shit, because I'm that it. And I'm it because I said I am. Why would I? And if I'm not, then why would I say I am? I like the RAKIM. I get stemmed. I don't smoke. I don't drink, but I sit back and think. And what I read don't give you no knowledge. But if I spit it, then yeah, you'll never forget it. So I'm with it. And I'm with it to get it. I'm in it for a minute, and I'm going to do this shit and spin it, run it back, do it just like the Duncan Top. Yeah, we used to pull that string off that motherfucker and still cop. Do you understand? I'm the motherfucking man, and you can't tell me that I'm not, because I'm still hot. And the spot still gets blown because I own the thing, like the light up in the sky is shown, and it's shown on you. What the fuck you going to do? You coming through trolling. Yo, my dick in your mouth is what you holding. The fuck out of here. Anyway, so let's keep it moving. Okay. Nikhil Thomas, what's good? Yo, son, what up? What up with you? Looking like Theory O'Henry, my bro. You know what, man? Everybody been called. You know what? Everybody at work tonight was talking about something. What you going to the Source Awards tonight, Suge Knight? I felt some kind of way. I was like, you know what? A nigga can't wear a red shirt and get away with it. They was like, yo, Suge, ain't you supposed to be locked up right now? You ran them people over. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got, yo, what you doing, son? Thanks everybody for coming through. Access to Rome. What up, man? What up, my people? Man, thanks for coming through, man. Love is love. Love is love. You think it ain't when it is. Shadow Band. What's good? What's good, Shadow Band? What's up, man? All right. Nikhil Thomas says, no hate, brother. No. Definitely no hate. None of that. We not doing that. We not doing that. There ain't gonna be no hate. You know what I mean? I just had to just drop a couple of lines. You know what I mean? You gotta understand. All right, so that's what we talking about tonight, y'all. Unfortunately, we won't be taking any calls tonight because we can't. I mean, the Blog Talk just be on some bullshit. I can't believe I pay for this service. Every month, and they do. Like, this is what happens when I call in.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio.
So I'm supposed to press number 1. Boom. Come.
To start your show now.
Then the error message comes up. See, whenever it takes too long, not a good thing. All right.
We are sorry, but we're experiencing a problem with our system. Please try
experiencing a problem with your system. This is the system that I pay for. I pay for this. This ain't no free service. This ain't no Google number. Anyway, so unfortunately, we won't be able to take any calls tonight, but we can still get down. We talking about the sick, the elderly, the young, and the language barrier, the foreign language. So we talking about how people can take advantage of people who may be in a precarious position, or they might not be in a position to really defend themselves or to really help themselves or to really be able to identify how to get help, you know? So somebody, all right, last night we were talking about the enemy within and asking whether the people who are closest to you are the ones blocking your access to be peaceful, to be comfortable, to feel safe and secure, or is it outside forces? So tonight we're talking about how sometimes people who are in positions to not be able to take care of themselves or not old enough to have knowledge and wisdom of what moves to make or even what questions to ask, or when somebody is sick and when you're sick, you're weak, and you may not be in a position to really do the things that would put you in a position of advantage. So you have to let somebody else take advantage, because while you're in recovery, you just may not be in a position to stop somebody from taking advantage of you. And they may be the very person that's acting like they're taking care of you, that they're doing well by you. Like I said a few minutes ago, you can do a whole lot of good with other people's money. And if you really think about it, all of the groups, all of the organizations, all of the non-profit organizations and stuff like that, they work with other people's money. That's why they're able to go out and help people. When you got to do it from your own pocket, shit gets different. Because now you got a budget. You got to put limits on shit. Because now you have to make a decision between I either help the homeless, but if I help the homeless too much, I'll be homeless. And I'll be needing somebody to, brother, can you spare a dime? I said, brother, can you spare a dime? I said, brother, can you spare a dime? I just need a little time to tell you what happened. And I ain't gonna be snapping you. I'm rapping to you, just getting stuff off my chest. And I just want to tell you what happened. And then the rest will come to you, and it'll be kind of apparent. Yo, I'm out here and I'm feeling my larynx. I feel like I got a pain in my throat. And every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm crossing the moat. You know the moat, like the castle, the water is underneath. You know what I'm talking about. Come on, y'all. We ain't got no beef. Yo, I'm just talking to you about the things that's going on. And tonight is going to be all right. All right. So what y'all know? What y'all know? What y'all know? All right. Aiden says, damn, that's some 1990s radio call-in BS right there. I mean, no, it sort of works out in 2024. Yeah, it works out. That's a good look. It's a good look. Because, sometimes you can't really express yourself in the chat. Sometimes I might miss your comment or not read it at all. And, but if you call in, you get to say whatever you want to say. There's no censorship. It's really a good look. And it's a good tool. Other channels may not have a way for you to call in. Other channels may not even go live. A lot of people don't really like to go live. They do recorded videos. I don't do recorded videos. Well, I do some, but I go live because I can handle it. Like I can handle the back and forth. A lot of people can't really do that. They're used to the conversation going one way. They can't handle it when it comes back. I can. And I like it. I think it's cool. But anyway, manifest reality. My peoples, what's good? What's good? And Yosef L. Bay, what's good, my peoples? Thanks for coming on through. People always say keep your enemies closer, but that also means your enemies closer. Yo, I do not go by. Listen, the first person I ever heard say that was Tupac. He kept his enemies close. How'd that work out? I don't know about everybody else, but I don't like my enemies nowhere near me. If I'm on the East Coast, I want them on the West Coast. If I'm in the United States, I would rather them to be in Europe, Africa, Asia, North Pole, South Pole, Greenland, Iceland. No. Wherever I am, I want them somewhere else. because I don't know about everybody else, but my energy changes when my enemies come around. They get my full attention. Like, fuck are you doing around here? State your business, sir. Because one of us can't be in this area. The world is big enough for the both of us, but not this space. You ain't getting no wristband to this party. You ain't getting no wristband to this party. You gotta go, son. All right. What's that? Wing Hero? Wing Hero says all the way from Singapore. That's what I'm talking about. Greetings from Singapore. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Shadow Band says Suge got Tupac. Part of me wants to believe that, and part of me says that would be stupid. Like, he was the goose that was laying the golden egg. And people were talking about something, yeah, but he was planning to break off from death row. I'm like, he wasn't making that much money before. Like, that's the thing that people ignore about Tupac. Like, Tupac, for all it was worth, he wasn't no money maker. He wasn't. He wasn't. Think about it. Suge Knight bailed him out with $1 million. Like, all that Tupac had done up until that point, he didn't have $1 million to bail himself out. I mean, what does that tell you? I mean, real shit. He had already had out 2 albums in like 3 movies. He had been on TV too. Like, what was you doing with your money? You ain't have $1 million to bail. I know he didn't get paid a lot of money for Juice, but I know he got a nice little payday for what was that? Poetic Justice. You know, I don't. On the business side, it don't sound like he was up on his. It says Tupac got Diddy. That guy says you still talking about this? Well, I talk about what I want to talk about. Yeah. So yeah, I'm talking about this. And if you stay here, you're gonna be talking about it too. If you're schizophrenic, you'll be talking to yourself or the other people inside of your head. It's your choice. You said 8 enlightened people. I don't know. All right. Let's talk about the elections. Nah, we're going to talk about what the topic is tonight. We're talking about no fucking. Nah. You know, I had noticed that. I had noticed, like, for a good while, all you saw was Trump 2024 posts. Comments coming up. That has died down a lot. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Like, oh my God, finally, they finally dumbed down, you know what I mean, that rhetoric for that bitch ass nigga. Hold on, we gotta get dressed. Let's go ahead and get dressed. Let's go ahead and put our shit on. All right, let's go. For those of y'all who haven't been here before, and for those of y'all who have, we wear a uniform when we come on the show. So it's time for us to put it on. So now we gotta, when it gets to the point where it's time for y'all to put on y'all cow bones, y'all be taking too long with the vote. Now I know that there's a delay between the time that I say things and the time that y'all get things, but a lot of times y'all don't really, I don't know if y'all don't understand what we're trying to do or whatever. So this is how it's gonna go. Damn near the first I'm only looking for 2 votes. 2 votes. I had it unlimited at first. It was taking too long. Then I broke it down to 3. It was taking too long. Now it's 2. The first 2 votes for which one y'all want to wear, and that's who gets it. So y'all want to wear the one on the left? Y'all want to wear the one in the middle? Or you want to wear the one on the right? What's it going to be? 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 Is it the one on the left or the one? All right, we got one for left. All right, one in the middle or the one on the right. All right, we got 2 for left. Left it is. Yep, left wins. Wait a minute. So this was the one on the left, right? Okay. Wait a minute. Look at this dickhead. He said, happy 2020. He said, hey, whatever you prefer as your pearl necklace. Nah, I know that Catholic school shit. All right, the one on the right. No, it was which one left? Which one won? We had 2 on the left. We had 3 on the left. The left one. The left one. So this was the one on the left. So is this the one y'all wanted? Or was it this one? I think it was this one. All right, let's go. All right. Oh, is it? Okay. It was this one? All right. Good. All right, stick your neck out. No Diddy. Stick your neck out. Everything is going to be all right. All righty. All right. Good. Looking good. Looking good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Let me give you the ocular proof. Let me give you the ocular proof so you know that we real over here. All right. Okay. Look at you. Looking good. Look, ladies looking pretty, looking sweet, looking lovely, looking beautiful, looking sexy. Brothers looking fly, looking handsome, looking debonair, looking suave, smooth. Got your soft stuff on. Everybody looking good like we going out tonight. Everybody done press their stuff. They looking right. Everything is going to be okay. Yeah, you're looking better at night at 2 o'clock in the morning instead of the day. And that's the way. That's how we shine. Yo, you take a screenshot so you can show mine. Everything is going to be all right. You rock the cow bones. Yeah, you rock the cow bones till the cows come home. All right, we good? We good? All right. So we're talking about the sick, the elderly, the young, and the foreign language. People take advantage of people like this in their lives. What do y'all know? Have you ever seen somebody who was getting taken advantage of in these situations, or knew people who were taking advantage of people in these situations? It happens. Sometimes it might happen on a large scale. That might be something that you might report, and sometimes it's happening like, well, you know, you put it on a scale. They're doing more good than bad, so it might be a little shade, but hey. Throw a little shade, but everybody gotta get paid. Yeah, when the money is made and people get laid. And so we gonna make it rock. Everything is gonna be all right. Don't be in shock. All right. Lin Man the Realist says, what up? What up with you? Look, Happy 123 says, damn, he's saucing up the fellas. Shut the fuck up. I said the ladies first, you ass. Okay. All right, this is what we gonna do. This is what we're going to do, because the camera is on me and so is the microphone. So I can't let you turn the camera to you and let you have a microphone. So what I'm going to have to do with you is this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. Do your thing. Do your thing. Manifest says, yes, I've seen it and did not appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, because it might be somebody that's close to you. It might have been somebody, you know, that you loved, liked, respected, cared for, cared about. We've seen it happen to our neighbors. You know, you ever grow up on a block or move to a place where you have elderly neighbors or something like that, and you know, the neighbors are cool, and you're watching them aging, and as they're aging, they have health challenges and stuff like that. Maybe they're not able to get to their appointments like they used to be able to. Maybe they used to go grocery shopping, things like that, like they used to, and they're not able to do those things anymore. So they have to get some kind of assistance. It could be a caretaker. It could be a caregiver. It could be a family member of theirs. Maybe one of their family members or a friend of the family came to stay with them so they could take care of them for the rest of their days, or to try to help them get back to a place where they're healthy enough to be able to take care of themselves on their own. Maybe they lost a spouse somewhere in their lives or something like that. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. And you're watching, you're watching the situation, but at the same time, you're trying to mind your business. Because, at the end of the day, it's really not your business. But you may be the type of person that doesn't like to see people get taken advantage of. You might be the type of person that doesn't like to see people get used. You may have been through an experience with your own people, with your own loved ones, where you saw that happen, and then you can't just sit idly by and watch it happen to somebody else. So when you're dealing with the elderly, you're dealing with a fixed income. Some people have a small fixed income where they're just able to pay their bills and feed themselves, keep the lights on, shit like that. And some people have a bigger fixed income, and maybe they have means of being able to not only take care of themselves, but they have money, money. They have assets. Maybe they have their own business at some point, and they saved their money, invested their money. They ain't broke. They might not be rich enough to buy their health back, because there really isn't any price that can do that. But they may not be broke to the point where, or they may have enough money to be able to not only keep their lights on, the water running, the heat on, the air conditioner going, the cars in the driveway, the lawn cut, the pool cleaned, and all of that kind of shit. But they may also have enough money to be able to pay a salary to somebody out of pocket. I've known a lot of seniors who were able to do that. When you work all your life and you work your plan, and you plan your work, you plan your work, and you work your plan, and then in your later days, you have it to give. Now, some elderly people, I've known elderly men that got hooked up with a little young thing. I love him. I've always liked older men. They remind me of my dad, even though a dad is something that I never had. But I like older men because they know how to spend. And not only that, but they know how to treat women. And so when I go around him, he reminds me of my grandpa I never saw. But I still love him. And can't nobody tell me that I don't love him, because I really do. I'm not with him just for the money. He wanted to buy me a Gucci bag. He wanted to buy me a Louis. He wanted to buy me some red bottom shoes. I said he wanted to buy me some red bottom shoes. He said he wanted to buy me some. you know what I'm saying? Hey, man. I mean, yeah. One thing about being elderly and being sick, you may not be keeping your mind or your eyes on the money. One thing about being sick is you don't care about no money. You're trying to get back to a place where you want to live every day. Joriel said, laugh my ass off. So true. You seen it. And don't let the young girl be on drugs. Don't let her have a weed habit, coke habit, popping them pills. She gonna take the old head down to the ground for real. He gonna get buried after he get married so she can get all the monies that she can carry. He might be broke by the time they put him in the ground. Didn't even have enough for the funeral. That's what he found. Shit is bad. It's a serious problem. Ain't nobody out here around to solve them. I mean, it's bad, man. I don't even want to make light of it, because I've seen this shit happen. I'm sorry. I've seen this shit happen. When you see it happen, oh, that guy, the necklace is made out of cow bones. No, I wasn't bullshitting. These are actual cow bones. The ones y'all wearing is made of actual cow bones. No wood, none of that shit is actual cow bones. I call them struggle beads because, as you can see, I made them big and long, not like a dick, but like dookie ropes cables like they wore in the 80s. And so instead of the gold, I made them out of cow bones because I knew nobody would duplicate that shit. You can't buy these in stores. I got them made, you know what I'm saying, and make sure they was different. But I call them struggle beads because we all go through the struggle. And these are actually dedicated to all of my peoples who grew up in the 80s. I'm talking about like teenagers because I was born in 1970. So in the whole 80s, that was my whole teenage years. From age 10 all the way to 20, the 80s was my teenage years. So I saw a lot of shit. There was a lot of struggles. There was a whole lot of crazy stuff. There was a lot of pain. There was a lot of pain. There was a lot of gain. There was a whole lot of stuff, graduating high school, 1988, you know what I mean? Night of the Living Bass Heads. You know what I mean? Rob Bass. What else? What was you listening to? NWA got hot. There was a lot of shit going on. I don't miss the 80s. I don't miss none of that shit, but it made me into the man I am today. All right. Misha Afton says it's my birthday today. That's what's up. Well, happy birthday to you. Ruthless K6 says, can you say a quick prayer? All right. Quick prayer, everybody. All right. I'll do the prayer that I do every night. God, thank you for giving me the opportunity to live another day, and then giving me that opportunity. Thank you for the life, the love, the liberty, the justice, the guidance, the understanding that I'm able to give to as well as receive from each and every one of my loved ones. That's the prayer I say every night. If you don't believe me, I can say it again. God, thank you for giving me the opportunity to live another day, and then giving me that opportunity. Thank you for the life, the love, the liberty, the justice, the guidance, the understanding that I'm able to give to as well as receive from each and every one of my loved ones. All right. Lin Man the Realist says, yes, sir. Love from Hawaii. That's what I'm talking about. Hawaii is in the house. Aloha. Word. Unc, you a boxing fan? That's what we have. I'm a boxing. No, you know what? I can't even say I'm a boxing fan no more. Because ever since, I hate to say this, but ever since the heavyweight division has gone down, I don't have that much interest in boxing. Like, how can you have boxing without a heavyweight division? How? I mean, the little guys just don't, I don't know. I'm trying to see them haymakers get thrown. But hey, maybe that's just my prejudice. So no, I can't even name you 5 current boxers. Well, maybe I can. I can't name 5 that I really like, that's for sure. So no, I'm pretty much out of the boxing game. Manifest Reality says it's difficult to walk past the situation. It is. It's very, very difficult. And when you think about it, if you have a heart, it should be difficult. It should be hard as hell. It should be almost impossible for you to not involve yourself on some level. But we got to watch our step. We can't always go to parties that we're not invited to. We can't always go to parties or crash parties that we wasn't invited to. It's not always a good look, and it's not always received very well, you know? Yosef L. Bebe says, one day I was just walking up around 5 a.m. I kept hearing someone screaming, help, help, over and over. I got up and went outside. About a half a block away, this elderly lady had fell and broke her hip. Are you serious? Wow. What'd you do? Okay. He says she was in her house on the floor. I asked her what I can do to help. She wanted me to call the ambulance for her. To this day, she still says thank you, but I keep telling her it's okay. I'm here to help. That's what's up, man. I'm glad you helped out like that. That's really good to hear. Matter of fact, let me give you a cowbell for that. Because unfortunately, there's some people out there in the world that would actually rob the old lady. Or even worse. And I don't even want to go into that. But y'all know what I'm talking about. The evil that courses through some people's veins, and then they brain waves. I just don't understand. Shadow Band says, I've learned my lesson trying to step in situations like that because of me being a man. I am instantly demonized compared to a woman. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? I do. Unfortunately, I do. Manifest Reality says, exactly, 80s was it. It had its good points. It had its bad points. Shadow Band says, I meant. Manifest Reality says, I mean. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Team Hungry says, is it okay to be an atheist? It's okay for you. I mean, you know, I've known plenty of atheists in my life. I mean, I actually understand how and why a person wouldn't believe that there's a God. The only problem I have with atheism is the not believing in God part. I don't really have a problem with that. You know what I have a problem with? I have a problem with some of the reasons that they give for not believing in God. Like, I understand that it doesn't make sense to you that one person or one supreme being would be able to know that would be able to control all living things, the universe, the sun, moon, and stars, and all of that. I get that. But when I hear people say things like, well, if there's a God, why does he allow so much pain and suffering in his world? Why does he allow all this violence and murder and why does he allow babies to be abused and things like that? That's when they lose me. Because I'm thinking like, so your evidence that there would be a God, that there was a God would be what you would be able to control. You know, like, so if everything was the way that your perception views it, then that would be evidence of a God. But because there are things that you don't know and that you have to learn and that you have to find out and have to be patient with, that's your reason for not believing in God. That's when you start losing me. You know, one thing that we can't escape in this life is death. Everything dies. Every single thing in this world dies. Even the plants, the animals, the trees. Everything has to go. So whether you go young or whether you go old, you're going. Whether you are murdered, commit suicide, or get sick, you're going. Whether it goes quickly or whether it stretches out over years or decades, you're going. And if there is a supreme being, what makes you think that as an inferior being, you should be able to dictate how that supreme being should navigate all of the inferior beings? So I say that to say this, and I'm not no religious scholar on any level. I don't even practice any organized religion. I can't get into it, but I do believe in God and I am a spiritual man. But my thing is, if God controls all things, if he controls all life and all death, then he chooses how you come in and how you go. So while we're blaming each other, we only have him to blame. Ultimately, we don't even know if there's a heaven or a hell or the real criteria to go to get in to each. We don't know. What we do know and what we don't seem to understand is that he controls when we come in and when we go out. And from what I understand, he also he controls the beginning and the end. And from what I understand, he controls the middle too. I've lost a lot of people this year. I've lost people who weren't my people this year. You know, I work in the health field. I see bodies. I see people take their last breaths and families come in, and I see it every day. Every day. So it gives me a little different perspective on this whole thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, so it's okay for you to be an atheist. I would just prefer that you would be an atheist because you just don't see how it would happen, not because things aren't going your way. Because even believers don't have everything go their way. You know, people be talking like, if there's a God, how come he don't just do what you want him to do? Like, why don't he stop people from lying? Why can't you call on him? Oh, so you want to be able to summon God? Like, you know, like, let me just dial God up. Like, yo, I don't know what's going on. Hey, yo, God, I know you be busy and everything, but I need you to handle some people at work because they be hating. They trying to get me fired, God. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But it gets even more ridiculous. Matter of fact, we're gonna make up words. It gets ridiculous, sir. You know how people say, if you lie, you know how when somebody catches you lying or something like that, they'd be like, yo, I need to move away from you before lightning strikes you. Can you imagine what life would be like if you actually told a lie or saw somebody else tell a lie and lightning actually struck them? So far, there have been 0 occurrences where that has happened. And I don't think it's because most of the lies are told indoors. But what we have to know about this life is that we don't know about this life. Info spot 411. What's going on? I'm sorry, y'all, if I sound too preachy tonight, but I thought that was an interesting question about the whole atheism thing. My bad. Triple Whopper. What up, Triple Whopper? Says, brother, nice drip, OG. I appreciate that. Yosef says, I used to think that too when I was younger and started learning about our history and mystery. I was like, how could God let our ancestors go through something like that for hundreds of years? It says, but it'll become a time when in everyone's life where the Almighty Creator will show you personally that He exists. Well, there's a lesson in every life and every death. We just don't always know what the lesson is. Sometimes we may get a sign that we're supposed to do better. But no matter how well you do in this life, you can't escape death. That's what you can't do. You can try to prolong it. It doesn't always work. When it's time for you to come into this world, you come in. And when it's time for you to go, you got to go. But there's going to be a lesson. And when you come in, and there's going to be a lesson taught when you go out. Now, do you have any control over the lessons that may be learned by your passing? Maybe yes, maybe no. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right. Daniel Stogsdill? What's the one thing we have the recipe for and can't make? Is that a joke? We have the recipe for and can't make. I'm interested in know the punchline. What's up? Johan Live says, what you just explained is what sages in the past have said too. Really? Okay. In fact, modern mystics are saying it too. Okay, so profound. All right. I mean, a lot of people, sometimes when I talk like this, people think I'm a real weirdo. But I'm like, One thing I know is that I don't know everything. I don't know a whole lot of shit. I normally try to share what I do know and try to do the best with any knowledge that I have, but there's there's something out here in this world. And there's probably way more out there in the universe. I don't know. I believe that there's life on other planets. How does that affect the life on this planet? I don't know. I don't know. Is the God of Earth the God of life on other planets? I don't know. That would make sense, like you gotta. It would make sense to me. Please, y'all. I need y'all to do me this one little favor. Please, just this one little favor. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Yes, I need you to hit the like button and share the show. And subscribe to the channel. You know how it go. Yeah, subscribe to the channel because it helps the channel so we can heat this thing up just like a flannel sweater in the summertime. We gonna do this. It's not gonna be a bum of mine. Hit the like button. We got 11. You should get at least 20. Let's do this thing for the money. Money ain't nothing I'm asking you for. Just hit the like button for sure. And I would do the same for you. And I can prove that shit, when the God comes through. Please hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. That's all I need you to do. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. That's all. That's all. Nothing else. Nothing else. All right. Yosef LB say, I've seen a world. I've seen a world dumbest criminals series, TV series back in the day. This one dude robbed the church, and the police was chasing him, and lightning came down and struck the car and blew it up. Wow, never seen no shit like that. That's crazy. And that was on World Dumbest Criminals. So that was on the World Dumbest Criminals. That come on the it used to be called does it come on Vice now? No, it used to be on what used to be known as not Court TV. Yeah, Court TV. It used to be called Court TV. Now it's called some other shit. And they be having a bunch of comedians on there narrating the shit. I was like, this shit is too, I don't know. Oh, okay. Oh, you said water. We have the recipe for water. It can't make. Ain't that some shit? Yeah, H2O. 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 of oxygen. Yeah. Word. That's a good one. Okay. Good looking. Johan Live says, because God is a topic where we want to break our limitations and experience something larger than ourselves. For some people, yes, and for some people, no. A lot of people are comfortable not knowing. They want their wisdom to be finite. They want it to come up to a certain point and they don't want to learn anymore, because some people think that the more you learn, the less you believe. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. But listen, tonight we're talking about the elderly. I'm sorry. We're talking about the sick, the elderly, the young, and the foreign language. People, those 4 categories and some more get taken advantage of a lot. And the reason that I picked those 4 categories is because oftentimes when people who fit those categories are taken advantage of, a lot of times it's under the cloak of somebody doing good by them, and they may actually be doing good. But one thing I've learned is that you can do good and bad at the same goddamn time. I said you can be doing good and bad at the same goddamn time. For example, you can be at work doing the good work, making your boss a bunch of money. And you could also be stealing money or stealing time, which is money. You know. Like here, look. Money they say money is the root of all evil, and that's not exactly the way that is written in the Bible, but nonetheless, let's just take that. I don't think that it's the root of all evil, but it is the root of all opportunity. Now, whether you look at it as being evil or not, one thing that money does is it breeds opportunity. And when people have the opportunity without the fear of any type of consequences, more than likely they're going to take advantage of it. So that's kind of like what happens when you start talking about those four categories of what I'm talking of that I mentioned: the sick, the elderly, the young, and the foreign language. You know, you bring your cousin from Costa Rica up here and they don't know how to speak any English, and you do. So you're acting as their translator. Who's to say that you're translating properly for your cousin? I worked up in North Jersey. Perth Amboy. I worked up in Perth Amboy, New Jersey, in a warehouse that was 95% Hispanic. And it was all different kind of Hispanics. So you had the Caribbean Hispanics, you know, like the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans and Cubans. And then you had the Central Americans, like the Mexicans and the El Salvadorians and the Hondurans and the what's the other Central American country? Let me see. Central American countries.
Country frequently mentioned on the web include Guatemala,
Panama, that's the
El
one
Salvador,
I missed.
and others.
Yeah. Wait, there are 5 more? Okay. I didn't know these were considered to be Central America. Guatemala, Panama, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Belize, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic. They ain't no goddamn. See, they put the Caribbean. Google be doing too much. They let me down. Okay, but the ones that are real are Guatemala, Panama, El Salvador, Honduras. I don't know about this Nicaragua. That was a South American. Notice that they didn't put Mexico in there. So where's Mexico supposed to be? Okay. Anyway. Okay. Because those countries are right below Mexico. I don't know. All right. So let's say your cousin. Oh, I'm sorry. So what I learned about Hispanic culture is that the mainland South American Hispanics are prejudiced against the Caribbean and the Central American Hispanics. Who knew? Didn't know that. So they have, you know, the same way that you would have like black versus white, they have that and regional biases and prejudices and, you know, almost like racist behavior. Well, yeah, it's racism too, because some Hispanics are straight up white, straight up European white. So it's I've seen them act as translators for their people, and they don't always do it right. Now, I was managing. Well, I wasn't managing. I was a team leader. I was a team leader in this warehouse. So we used to have a meeting every morning with all of the personnel. So I was in the morning shift. So I would have my meeting, and I had this Dominican guy. His name was Alvin. No, Alvany. Strange name. His name was Alvany. Alvany. His name was Alvany. And he was he used to translate whatever I said to the staff. And he wouldn't translate it correctly. And the reason I knew that he wasn't translating it correctly was because my clerk, who was from Ecuador, she said, yo, Omar, I hope you know that he's not translating what you're saying exactly the way you're saying it when he translates it. So they're not getting exactly what you're saying. So the ones who know a little English, they know what you're saying, but they know that he's not translating correctly. And he wasn't. So that's when I knew I had to learn Spanish. So I started practicing. I took Spanish 1 in college, and so I knew some Spanish. I knew the basics, but I had to step my game up because I was like, this guy can't be trusted. But he knew that I didn't know enough Spanish to know what he was saying correctly and incorrectly. So he was taking advantage. Now imagine if I had to count on him to make my money for me or to keep relations strong for me. I would be ass out because he didn't give a shit about me. And this was his way of being defiant. Like, I'm going to say what I want to say. Like, he talking to my people, so I'm going to talk to them the way they need to be talked to, not the way he's talking to them. Shit like that. Now, imagine what somebody like him would do if they were in charge of somebody's Social Security, money being sent back home to their families, certain entitlement programs that may be set up, you know, for immigrants or legal status foreigners or whatever. Imagine that shit. Somebody like him, I'm gonna do what I want to do, not necessarily what I need to do. So I had beef with him. I definitely had beef with him after that. All right. Yosef L. Bebe says, the more you learn, the more you overstand and not understand. Word. He also says, perfect example, someone hustling but giving the money to moms to pay the rent. Good and bad at the same time. I'm not so sure that selling drugs is a bad thing. Because it's going to sell whether you sell it or not. Now, when I was younger, I looked at it like, yo, you selling that poison to your people, you killing your own people. Shit, so you mean to tell me they was paying to die? And whether I sell it to them or not, they going to pay somebody else to die? Not sure if it works that way. Meanwhile, past their church is getting money for people because they think their life is going to improve by doing it. How's that working out? So I don't know. Now, I've never sold drugs, and I wouldn't encourage my children to do it either. But it's not because I don't recognize certain other things that are advantageous about it. Like being able to handle business and chemistry. It's not such a bad thing. So you may not have done that well in school, but you learn how to do a little bit of science and business. Maybe I'm deflecting. Okay. Johan Live says, Adyogi, the first yogi and originator of yoga, said we can't make knowledge out of God. The only way to experience it is dissolving in it. There is no other way. Thus, yoga is a practice that explores. And I really like the practice of yoga too. Methods of dissolution. Okay. Archer says, I like your cut, G. What cut? You must be talking about my face because, you know what I mean? It's a cut, all right. You know, you people with hair think you're so cool. You think you're so cool with your waves and your fades and your braids. No, you're not so cool with your waves and your fades and your braids. You all are infected with AIDS. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You think you're so cool with your waves and your braids and your face. You people with a full head of hair after age 40, you got AIDS. No? You're healthy? You got a blood test? And they test you for your antibody? And you don't have no your immune system is in good standing? So what? That don't mean you're not sick. Matter of fact, now you're so sick, you make me sick. I sick of you. You with your waves and your face and your brace and your ponytail. You think you're so cool. You're not so cool. I cooler than you. You're not so cool. I cooler than you. I so cool, I shave my head. You try that. You're not going to try that. You comb your hair, you see hair going into the sink, you get scared. That shit don't scare me. Let me stop fucking with y'all. Let me stop fucking with y'all. All right. Shadow Band says there's different dialects of Spanish. Also, some things don't translate well between the two. Yeah, because like the Caribbean Spanish is sort of like Jamaican Spanish, and the South American Spanish is more like mainland, like North American, United States. I'm Spanish, you know. So I still don't think that that's a valid reason to think that you're better than somebody, or to have prejudices against somebody, or to look down on somebody, or to I don't know, man. They was a trip. They used to be talking shit to me like I don't give a fuck about. I used to be like, yo, man, I'm good. Let me get out of your conversations. You know, racists think that everybody who looks like them is feeling like them. And when you show them that you're not, they like, well, what's wrong with you? I can't fuck with it. Anyway, Death Row Records. Dang, this gentleman beard is always on point. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Jeff says, you mean like when people call you consistently, oi, negrito, dame un cigarro? Yeah, like that. And el maricones, maricones? I don't know. No say. All right. Info spot. Negrito. All right. He's a Moreno. Moreno mi ass. Moreno mi culo. Moreno mi culo. Moreno mi culo. Rachel Caston. Wait, hold up. Yo, 7LB says, yeah, that church thing is a good example. Come on, man. You can be good and bad at the same time. You can. Dirty Darko says, please pray for me. I'm a sick man. Okay. I'll pray for you. And I really hope you're kidding. But if you're not, please send out a prayer for Dirty Darko. Rachel Castendiek. Is that how you pronounce it? Castendiek? Rachel Castendiek. It says, InfoSpot says, you remember the song Church of the Poison Mind from the 80s by the Culture Club? I used to love the Culture Club. You know what I mean? With that fruity ass Boy George, but it was dope, man. I'll tumble for ya. You know, Culture Club was a dope group. I don't care what nobody say. They had great songs. You know, come a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Loving will be easy if you come into light, my tea. Yeah, shit. All right. Scotty McBooger. Say you a fool. You a fool. This Death Row Records says bro turns into Tony Montana. I didn't turn it into no goddamn Tony Montana. Tony Montana biting off of me. I was alive in 1983 when the Scarface came out. Al Pacino ain't no fucking Latino. He ain't no Cubano. He ain't no Cubano. You just want to point your fucking finger and say, there go the bad guy. You Wisdom says, I do believe in God, but not some man-made name, religion, entity. Everyone has God within them, which I define as truth. Trust your wisdom by asking questions, getting answers, knowing what is good and bad. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Matter of fact, we're gonna definitely give it that. We're gonna give it that. We're gonna give it some symbols too. Give it some symbols, man. Yeah, the God in you. The God is proof. The God for youth. The God is truth. Yeah. And we here, y'all. And we here, y'all. Yeah, we here, y'all. It's top tier, y'all. We going to the store, going to buy some gear, y'all. Yo, we getting ready for the party that's coming through, and everybody's gonna be all right. That includes you. And what we gonna do, we gonna have a little fun. We gonna get a little knowledge, and we ain't going to college, but the college parties is like no others. Yo, and me and my brother used to go to them things and turn them out, no doubt. Scoop shorties by the 4s and 5s, and everything is gonna be all right because I've decided that positivity was the way to go, and I'm glad you came through to the DG show. Daily go-getterism, 7 days of the week. We try to make sure we give the knowledge when we speak. It's the peak of the life, and 3 kids and the wife, and we gonna keep it tall. Everything is gonna be all right. What's up with y'all? All right, let's go. Okay. Rachel says, I'm the bad guy. Not my real name. Okay, cool. Joey K. What up, Joey? Channel says, rest in peace, my head. Yeah, he said, rest in peace, my eardrum. My bad, side. My bad. I'm going to do better. I promise. Raul Diaz says, this man's a yapper. He ain't wrong, though. I'm saying no. So check it out. All right. So we talked a little bit about the elderly, the sick, and the foreign language. I'm telling you, a lot of immigrants that come over here. And listen, I know y'all MAGA motherfuckers don't want to hear about nobody being an immigrant, but you don't know if you like some of y'all like to, get the stamps on your passport. Y'all go to other foreign countries and shit. And when you go to another country and you have to make sure that you budget, keep your money straight, make sure that you don't get taken places where you can get robbed and hurt and who knows, human traffic, you just never know. But all of these things can happen if you're not with somebody who speaks a language that you can relate to. And the longer it takes for you to catch on to what everybody is saying, the longer that you stand the chance of something happening to you instead of for you. So I'm a little sensitive to that. I don't like to see people get hurt. I don't like to see people taken unfair advantage of. I don't like that shit. I try not to do it. Not saying that I never took advantage of anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like a couple of shorties, you know what I mean, might have acted like they wasn't trying, you know what I mean? So I had to get the gab on, rub a little something, you know. Sometimes you have to find out how much you really don't want to do something. Maybe they really did, but they were scared. Just a little bit scared. Those are the younger days, though. All right. Abe, wait a minute. Abe, the Rugrat, says this brother is spitting bars, but spending, hold up, but spread, wait, but hold that. What does that say? But spending love at the same time? Did you mean spending love or spreading love? I hope you meant spreading. But thanks for coming through. Yeah, man. Shadow Bear says his son is good people. I try to be. I mean, I do bad shit too. You know. Like my old head. My old head used to say, listen. I had a Puerto Rican old head back in the day. He was funny as shit. And he used to say, like, I didn't eat pork. And he was like, well, why you don't eat pork? I said, because, I don't, like I was practicing Islam at the time. I don't know. I hadn't eaten pork voluntarily since 1989. And he was like, well, you can still have a ham sandwich. You just got to pray it off. He used to have me dying. I was like, you got to do what? He said, just pray it off. You do what you got to do, but then you pray it off. He said, that's what I do. Oh, he wasn't wrong. Trouncer says, I've been spreading it, baby. What you been spreading? I don't know. It looks like no Diddy should be behind that. Doing good and bad at the same time. Y'all remember y'all got any Raekwon? Are there any Raekwon and Ghostface Killer fans? Wu-Tang, remember on the purple tape? On the purple tape, the last song that was on the purple tape, what was it called? Anyway, it's the song where Papa Wu is talking, and he said, you can't be good and bad at the same time. You either good or you bad. And when he said that, I was thinking like, no, you can be good and bad at the same time. Built only for Cuban links. Let's see the last song on this shit. North Star, Jules. I would play it. But they'd be like, copyright, you're doomed. You ain't getting nothing on this show. It's over for you. But on that song, he says, you can't be good and bad at the same time. You either good or you bad. I do think that you can be good and bad at the same time. The serial killer Ted Bundy used to help the elderly. One time, he chased down a criminal who had stolen a lady's purse. And he didn't even kill that lady. She wasn't his type. So everybody does good things and bad things. Jeffrey Dahmer, he did some good things from what I understand. Rachel says, we are all good and bad. Balance is key. I agree. Alfie Heaps. What's good? Hello again. Hello again. Hello, friend. But yeah, man. All things in moderation. All things in moderation. But yeah. Now I want to talk a little bit about taking advantage of the young, how the young get taken advantage of. Now, you know what I mean? I don't want to talk, I don't want to say what I don't want to talk about because y'all help navigate this show as much as I do. But I'm not necessarily talking about, anything sexual or anything violent. There are so many ways, different ways to take advantage of somebody who is young. Because when an older person who has been around, who has seen things, done things, understands things, maybe has a maturity level that no young person could ever achieve, it's easy for an older person who is impressionable to take advantage of a younger person that really looks up to them, really respects them, thinks that they like the best thing since sliced bread. They can get them to do things. For example, back in the day, and maybe even still today, but back in the day, before the crack era, what the older drug dealers would do was they would get the kids to push the drugs or deliver the drugs in school or wherever, because they couldn't be charged as adults. So they would, if they got caught, they would just do a little time in juvenile detention, and nobody would get caught or hurt as long as they didn't tell who was the main guy pushing the drugs. All right, so this is what we're going to have to do. Hold on. You got my attention. Poe. We're not talking about no fucking Diddy parties. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to need you to stop spamming the chat. And what I mean by spamming the chat is instead of writing complete sentences, you're doing like a word or two. That's not going to work. You're fucking up the chat. So I'm gonna need you to stop doing that. And I'm going to be nice about it at first. Okay? All right. So back to what I was talking about. So yeah, they would have the young cats who were underage, under 18, knowing that they couldn't be, charged as adults. It wouldn't be seen as a serious crime. They would get the help that they needed, whatever. But that was a good way for them to be able to sell their product without the risks of themselves being arrested, charged, and going to jail. So yeah, they use them. And at the same time, they may have gotten them strung out on drugs and stuff like that. I watched the movie. Y'all remember that movie that came out in the 90s, in the mid 90s or whatever? It was called Fresh. It's a movie called Fresh. And it was, it was a low budget flick, but it was okay. It wasn't it was actually a pretty good movie. I was watching the movie Fresh, and it took me back because I was in my 20s when it came out. And the person who played Fresh in the movie really, 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 really reminded me of my baby brother. I mean, really, 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 really reminded me of my baby brother. It was actually a pretty good performance in that regard for me. But it showed in the movie how a young person could really, get into the game, trying to help out his family, trying to, get a couple of dollars, just trying to make it out here. Just trying to make it out here and be taken advantage of. Seeing things that they shouldn't be seeing at that age, experiencing things that they shouldn't be experiencing at that age. And when you start talking about somebody taking somebody's innocence or taking their childhood away from them, we ain't talking about like Michael Jackson or And when I say taking your innocence, I'm not talking about nothing sexual. But your innocence is anything that you should be shielded from. That's what your innocence is. Your innocence is sort of like your ignorance. Like there's some things that you don't need to know and you probably shouldn't know at a certain age. But there are also things that people might push on you and might force you to know. You know, so it's like one of those things. So, and there are plenty of times when older people will take advantage of people who are young because they don't know certain things. So they might get overcharged for certain things because they're young and they don't know. They don't know. Like, let's say if you drop out of school or leave your parents' house, run away or something like that, you may not have a place to stay. And if you've never had your own place to stay, you may not understand or know how rent is charged, how much you should be paying versus being able to keep for yourself. So imagine being out there in the world and somebody's telling you, well, I'm going to need this much money for you to stay here. You stay in there with no lease, nothing that proves that you have the right to be there. So the first time that you don't pay or you don't act the way that they think that you should act, they put you out because you were young, and they were able to take advantage of you because you were young and you didn't know no better. Or maybe you were so young that you were put in a position where you thought it might be best to follow instructions or go along with everything instead of pushing back, because you may not have had those options available to you. All right, Abe, the rug rat, thanks for coming back. Appreciate y'all. Yeah. So when things like that happen to a person, yeah, people take advantage of young people all the time. All the time. It's not always something violent or sexual in nature. I'm not even talking about that. But people still take advantage of young people because they know that some young people may not know the game. So you can lie to them. You can get them to do things that they wouldn't normally do. I'm going to tell y'all the truth, man. When I think about what happened on January 6, 2021, to me, all of those people who stormed the Capitol in the insurrection, to me, they were all like young people because they really buy in and bought into what Donald Trump was telling them. They really bought into that shit. And you would think that only young people, very, very young, impressionable people would feed into that shit. Evidently, he was able to call up the inner child in all of them. And the reason that I say it is this. Normally, people who have lived life enough, they understand. When you're a full-grown adult, you understand that there are consequences for your actions. And you could clearly see during the insurrection of 2021 that they had total disregard or total ignorance for what could happen to them. They had no fear. That's normally how young people act. That's why young people out here, they join gangs and they gang bang. They don't understand. Besides the violence of it, they don't understand or seem to understand how they can ruin their lives that way. So when you look at the people who participated in the insurrection of January 6th, And you hear their reasoning behind it when they got caught or when they got arrested. You know, I really believed in what he was saying, and I thought he would be there for us. And I'm like, you don't see that man don't give a fuck about you? And I'm not talking about the average MAGA supporter. I'm talking about specifically the ones that stormed that Capitol. They all seem young to me and dumb, because that was just not a smart thing to do. I'm like, are y'all fucking crazy? Do you know what's going to happen after the smoke clears with this shit? Like, the military could have came in and wiped them all out justifiably. But they had no fear of that. That's something that I would expect young people to do. Young people who didn't understand what could happen to them or what would happen to them. See, when you're young, you can't see tomorrow. You know, when you're younger, like anything under age 30, the days and weeks and years, months and years seem longer. When you cross the threshold of 30, 40, 50 years old, those days seem shorter and shorter. Because when you're younger, a day is a larger percentage of your life than when you're older. You understand what I'm saying? So I hear my peers saying all the time, like, yo, man, it seems like we're in a time warp. It seems like days and weeks just go like this. It's because we're on I know for me, I'm on the other side of 50. So yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years doesn't seem like a long time for me, the way it would for somebody who's like 16 years old. But yeah, I think Trump brought out the inner child of all of his followers that day on January 6, 2021. They didn't seem to understand what was going to happen. They didn't seem to care. Anybody with a little knowledge, wisdom, and maturity would have said, nah, we ain't doing this. You ain't get me caught up in this shit. Okay. Rachel says, I was too old, too young. All right. Abe says, are we still on the topic of how kids are taken advantage of? Yep. Rachel said, I said the exact same thing. Abe says, what are we talking about? That's what we're talking about. Rachel says, it gets shorter. Yep. Reckless. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still say January 6th was worse than 9/11. Easily. You know why? Nobody thought that 9/11 was going to happen again. And I doubt that it ever will. But that January 6th shit, I could definitely see that happening again. Because they haven't learned the lesson from it. Dan F says, what country are you in? Belgium. Yeah, Belgium. Please do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button, share the show. I said hit the like button, share the show. I said hit the like button and share the show. Yeah, as we keep going, as the flow keeps moving on. Yeah, we keep moving, keep building ourselves up, keep improving, try to keep going faster, keep going better, try to keep all things in perspective. And I know that you will be down with this thing. Will be soothed just like a pill. And I'm true and real, and everything is going to be all right. Hold on, chill. I know that thing's been a little bit of hectic, but we got to do this thing, so we going to be respected. And I respect you, you respect mine, and the sun always shines, and you going to do this thing at the same time. Everything is going to be okay. And I say this shit to myself each and every day, and anybody else who comes my way, I say it to them. It's going to be all right. We women and men. All right. Okay. But yeah, people take advantage of the young people all the time, or take advantage of people who are youthful. You know, and you know another thing about when people are young. You know, another thing about them that captures my attention is that you can also it's easier to lay a guilt trip on a younger person than it might be for an old head. So old head been there, done that, seen it, wrote the book, bought the t-shirt. A young person don't know. They don't know. So you know how young people talk a lot about people snitching and being a rat and all of that kind of shit. Speaking of being a rat, I was watching a YouTube video earlier tonight about this Philly mobster named Joey Merlino. Skinny Joey Merlino. It was actually a DJ Vlad interview, and I can't stand DJ Vlad, but I can't hate because he has good people on there. And he was asking Joey Merlino all of this stuff about his mob activities, his mob ties. And Joey, I don't know anything about that, him to death. Everything was, I don't know anything about that. I never heard of that. I never saw that before. I was like, you sure you wanted to do this interview? Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, young people are a little bit easier to manipulate. Lay a guilt trip on them. No, you know that's not right. That's not the right thing to do. Why would you do that to them? Well, you know, and it might not be as bad as as whatever the person who is taking advantage of somebody is saying. It may not be as bad as what they're talking about. But yeah, you can lay a guilt trip on a younger person. You know, with an older person or a seasoned veteran type, you might not be able to get over on them like that. So it is one of those things. It is. It really is. It's like I'd learned. I think my dad told me this. He said that if the Catholic Church gets you for the first 7 years of your life, they'll have you for life. He said they might go out in the world and explore other religions and all that kind of stuff, but before they die, if they have a chance, they'll come back home to the Catholic Church because that's how indoctrinated they become. Nazi Germany. Y'all remember Nazi Germany? I don't know how much of the history you know about Nazi Germany, but one thing that Adolf Hitler was very, very involved in, one thing that he was very involved in was making sure that he was grooming the youth, the young Nazi corps. The young Nazi corps. Because he knew once he got them indoctrinated into all of those things that he was saying and the way of life that he was trying to create, He knew he had them. The future of Germany was going to be set. And of course, they believed everything that was being said. One thing that young people are very, very, very receptive to and susceptible to is propaganda. Good old propaganda. They believe the things that they see on TV, hear on the radio. They believe it. They do. They think it's real. Even in this day and age, they think it's real. Even in the AI days, the filters, all that kind of stuff, they still believe that everything is a possibility. Like, I guess from their logic, they feel like if what's false or what's fake can be a reality, why can't what's real be a reality? The lines get really, really blurred, between what's real and what's fake, what's live and what's Memorex. We're about to get on up out of here pretty soon, pretty soon. But yeah, so we talking about the sick, the elderly, the young, and the language barrier. I didn't talk that much about this, the sick, so I'll take a few minutes to talk about, when a person is sick, they need health care, they need like a home health aide, they need a caregiver. Well, if you notice, like TV commercials nowadays, they're telling people and encouraging a lot of people who may have elderly parents or sickly parents or whatever, sickly relatives, to become a caregiver. It's a big deal nowadays. Be a caregiver. Now you can administer the proper care to your loved ones and get paid. So you don't have instead of going out to your regular job, you could stay right here with your grandmother, grandfather, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brothers, sisters, and get paid. Give them the care that they need, the care that they can trust, and you get paid. Now, I've even seen that situation go left. Because even though the agency is supposed to pay, or the client is supposed to get a subsidy to be able to pay for the health care for the caregiver, it still has had the ability to go left, because people steal. One thing about being sick that really, really breeds opportunity is the fact that people think that they can just take the things that you have because you won't need them anymore. Like, you're not in a position to be able to use them anymore. Cars, electronics. Like, you're too sick or immobile to use those things. So they may take them off of your hands. Rachel says, the sad part is I would have been the only one to step up. They dropped the ball on me and got greedy, obsessively greedy. It happens. I've seen how a little bit of money, not even a lot, just a little bit of money, can change the whole landscape of friendship, family, love. Unity. Money gets in the way. Shit. You ever see a party of 10? You ever see a party of 10 at a restaurant? And see what happened when the bill comes? I'll be praying to God that only one person is paying that bill. Because you can't split the bill up 10 ways. People going to start talking about what they ate, what they didn't eat, what they ordered, what they didn't order. I didn't eat more than $20. Like, yo, you had filet mignon. You had ribeye steak. I mean, still, the steak was only $17.99. Doesn't exactly work that way on the bill, does it? Well, yeah. A little bit of money will have people not speaking to each other anymore. And you add in somebody who's sick, but still has a couple of dollars left. That's the kind of shit that'll make a person pull the plug on life support. Or maybe if it ain't even life support, pull the plug on your oxygen tank. Like, I don't want you to use up all the money before you die. Rachel says cheap beer taste champagne. Oh, beer taste champagne pockets. Oh Lord, not them. Anything but big dreams, small means. Big dreams, small means. Oh man, it gets nasty. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious October 16th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Low Key Bird, happy birthday to you. And my girl, go getter Natoya Still, and also go getter England Broner, and Esther Ramirez, and Teresa Brew, and Kathy Kilson. And last but not least, my girl, Pat De Braganza. Pat De Braganza. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious October 16th, anywhere else in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, go hard, go for yours, and remember, yeah, the sick, the elderly, the young, yeah, and you can't forget the language barrier. See, people will take advantage when they don't think that you can fight back, act back, or even do stacks. Yeah, if they think that they can make a couple of dollars off you, you will be a guinea pig. And you don't think that you can happen, my nigga. I'm trying to tell you, that shit is crazy, you dig? And it's a real sad situation when it happens to your people. A lot of frustration. And it might really work on your patience. And it might bring you a violent sensation. And I don't advocate nobody getting hurt, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, put in work. Don't let nobody take care of yours, or should I say take down yours, just like a pair of drawers. You got to do your best, and I'm going to do my best too, yeah, and the rest do. And y'all, I think, thanks for coming through. And y'all, I pull rank. All right. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night for another Daily Go Getimism show. So make sure y'all come on through. Come on. We be talking about something hot tomorrow. I promise. I promise. Like I'm serious for real. For real. All right. So make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we gonna be back. Let me take off my shit like that. All right. So my shift is over. I can take off. I can take my uniform off. Let me disrobe y'all. Everything good? We good? We good? Everything good? Levels is good. Levels is good. Chill. All right, y'all. So, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Come back tomorrow, 2 a.m. I'll be here. Y'all be here. Everybody gonna be here if you dare. No blog talk. So, peace, y'all. All right.